on December 25, so it was Christmas, and I thought, I don't think I did it well enough. I got to do it again. December 26th, 3 AM, I went over there, and I did it more under his balcony, sprinkled all black salt, sprinkled it in the foyer doorway. The problem is, there was a bit of an issue, because when I ran around this way, that tenant, she was in her kitchen, bloody, and they sleep with their blinds open, but they sleep with one eye open. Then at the front here, the front of the unit, because they're both at the back of the unit complex, they're at the front. I think she saw me from the kitchen. She was like, "What are you doing?" She saw me briefly, I think. Everything's lit up here. Everything, and sound carries farther at night. You make a sound at night and it's quadruple in volume. And I walked down that side there, and I was going to take the camera out there and show you, but it's a bit difficult to see out there now in the evening. So, December 26th, 3 AM. I lingered around too. I lingered too long. I lingered way too long. And I put the black salt. I did it again. Problem was, someone fucking saw me. I don't know who it was that saw me, but someone saw me. And I was like, anyway, the next morning, we drove out to Bondi. And when we got back in the driveway, my partner said to me, "What is that?" I'm like, huh? She'd written up she said, "See," it said on the wall in front of our unit, like facing our unit, it said, "CCT camera, security cameras in use, trespassers will be prosecuted." Handwritten. I'm like, "You've got to be bloody kidding me." I got caught. And if you get caught doing it, it doesn't work. I'm like, oh, and my partner's like, "What? What the hell is that? What the bloody hell is that?" I don't have to look at that every day. I'm like, oh, I got caught. Anyway, we get inside, and 15 minutes later I said to my partner, "I got something to tell you." And I told her, and she was like, she went sad. She's like, "You didn't include me. I would have been your lookout guy. Why didn't you include me?" And I told her what I did, and she was like, she laughed. She thought it was funny. Didn't know how she'd react. But she thought it was funny. She was like, "I'm sad that you didn't include me. I would have been your lookout guy." There was a big war that started a fucking war, and that paper kept slipping down. So the bitch, strata bitch, brunette bitch, the evil fucking brunette strata bitch that lives there, she parks a broomstick out the back. She's fucking nasty. Now, after a few days of this, she replaced it with an actual plastic private property, trespassers will be prosecuted sign, warning sign, right in our view. So every time I opened the curtains of the morning, it was there. And my partner said, "I'm not fucking putting up with this." She said, "I'm not putting up with this." And we tolerated that for about 6 days. And then my partner got so shitty with it, she walked across there, she tore off the thing, and she put it in the bin. And then 48 hours later, it was put back up again. And then it was put back up again. And then like 7 days went by, and I went around there one morning, and it was 7 days, 8 days of continuously looking at that, wanting to go over there. So this is at 24th of July 2023, 11:06 AM, and I am relating events. I'm relating what happened earlier in January this year. Now, I was talking before about how that strata brunette bitch, 3 days later she puts it back up. Anyway, we went through this whole thing. Well, that bloody sign was up for a while. Then I went over there and I ripped it off. And that smiley thing, I ripped that off as well. This went on for a while, and at one point in February, I wrote an angry letter and put it in Unit 10's mailbox, the tenant upstairs above, and I didn't know what he would do with it. And I said, "Feel free to take it upon yourself to rip that bloody sign off the side of the building. Well, what happened was, he didn't do that. I couldn't work out what he did for a while, couldn't work it out, and then, but that sign was up there for a while. I took it down twice, and I went 9 doors up, down the road, and put it in the bin up there. And that sign ended up being up there. She put a new one up, ended up being up there for about 2 weeks. It turns out that the top floor tenant, he actually gave it to strata management. And so one day I woke up, opened the curtains, and the sign was no longer there. Strata management came along. It turns out he got a bit, I was going to say a bit official about it. He actually gave it to the real estate, turned it over to strata management. They had a word with her and forced her to take it down. And so he actually helped us and had that rotten fucking sign taken down. Imagine looking at that every day. And it's now been it's been 4 days since Dickhead moved out, and it felt surreal. Getting used to it, loving it. It's fantastic. You can have light come in the unit now. We've actually started using that balcony again. Dickhead has gone, and letting a lot of light into the kitchen. Thing is, I need to let some bloody light into that unit over there. Really need to let some light in. Yeah, the ordeal we went through. So, that's right. So, well, because someone saw me at 3 a.m. late December. Because someone saw me, the paranoid and fearful strata manager started putting up those signs, and we endured that for way too long. That the dickhead has no idea the amount of trouble he caused, and the brunette strata bitch, she has she's no clue how much trouble she's caused. No fucking clue. And if you're going on someone else's property, stay there for as minimum amount of time as possible. Anyway, so look, that gives you some insight into the situation and what a very bad neighbour can be like, was like for me. I forgot to mention something. The signs are still up, except out of our view. She's so fucking stubborn and fearful. So the back of that unit over there. So what they did at the back of the unit, which is out of our view, there's 2 signs up there. And one that has a smiley face saying "Smile, you're on camera," and the other one is put in the middle over there, and it says "Trespassers will be prosecuted." It says "Warning." It's a red and white, but I can't see it. The only time I ever see it is if I go out to the car and I look across, look for it, and in plain eyesight, I can just make out the yellow one, and I can just make out the yellow one, and